top of the map is our red Terran player. Again, one game away from that Code A championship, that Code S spot from the Team Slayers. He is
Slayers GanZI.
And he's sending out an SCV very early, Moltrap.
Well, he's using it to build a deep orders ramp. Don't panic.
All right, I won't. Down at the bottom of the map, where everything is proceeding completely normally, it is.
MarineKing Prime Week.
I wonder if we're going to see MarineKing go for a command center first again.
It's possible. It's not a bad map for it, really.
Yeah, it would be a really good map for it. MarineKing, go to victory. I believe in MKP.
All right. Thanks to Pepsi and G-Skill sponsoring the GSL Refinery first for Slayers GanZI. And there's the barracks, so he's going to be going for another fast tech, and those openings have worked very, very well for him so far this series. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see him go Cloak Banshees. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised to see either of them go Cloak Banshees. MarineKing, I believe, did go gas first as well.
Yes, indeed he did. So we could see some Cloak Banshee on Cloak Banshee action. Of course, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Slayers GanZI switched to backup and went back into the Blue Flame Hellion style, though, for this game.
Yeah, well, it's a good map for that, too.
It's kind of, I think, like his normal style.
There's a lot of places where you can get the Banshees in from a drop on this map.
That is true as well, though.
There's a lot of like little corners, yeah.
And if you're going heavy Hellions, you can get caught by Banshees sometimes.
Absolutely.
And actually, the factory kind of off on the side means that he's probably going to try and keep it hidden and have it be in a good place for his starport. So I think you're right. GanZI might be going for Cloak Banshees.
Well, I mean, he's getting a second gas right away. You don't usually need that for Blue Flame Hellions, so I would assume that that does mean that you're right. I think he is going for Cloak Banshees. MarineKing getting a second gas as well, so yeah, I think both these guys are going to be getting the Cloak Banshee. Expanding off of that, we're going to get to see, who has the better Banshee control, who has the better Marine control. Is it going to be the King of Marines or the Gonzo Terran?
I don't know, man. We're going to find out pretty soon. The positioning of MarineKing's factory leads me to believe he's probably, never mind, he gets a starport.
I see.
I thought he was going to switch it up and go for some kind of tech lab on the factory kind of strategy.
Well, these guys are both pretty mirrored right now. Even both getting their tech labs at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
just a little bit different positioning.
I think we can be confident that it's just going to be Cloak Banshees, which is cool.
Yeah, both players actually doing almost exactly the same build right now, even down to using their 3 depots to wall off their ramp, getting a lot of Marines out, and so it's going to be interesting. It's going to come down a lot to control because...
Yeah, I really love these kinds of situations.
The Marine count is really going to be a major factor. It's going to determine if they can hold off their opponent's Banshee. Now, GanZI actually has made less Marines, though. He's only got 2 Marines. So that could actually be really, really bad.
And now, one kind of interesting thing to note is that MarineKing started his Banshee first and waited for the gas for Cloak, whereas GanZI started Cloak first and then waited for the gas to get a Banshee out. And the way that GanZI did it, I believe, is actually a little bit better, because Cloak finishes earlier and you get your Banshee at about the same time anyway. So, if you're ever curious, I mean, just look at the production tab right now and look how far Cloak is ahead, and then look at the Banshees finishing at almost exactly the same time. So generally it is better to get Cloak first and then wait for the gas to get to the Banshee.
Yeah, it takes about 2 Banshee build times to research Cloak. I guess, but though the thing is, though, is then by the time MarineKing's Banshee gets to his base, Cloak will be researched.
Yeah, that's true too.
And
it's a bigger map, so in this particular case, it may be better to get the Banshee first.
Now this is actually going to be really crucial here. MarineKing's Banshee is actually going to arrive earlier. That's the other byproduct of him getting that first.
Yeah.
And both players are going to have to defend this. And again, very few Marines. Only 4 Marines on the map for GanZI. Only 5 for MarineKing, though. This is going to be so hard for both players to defend. GanZI desperately trying to get a missile turret up in his main.
Yeah,
and MarineKing does not have an eBay.
This could be pretty bad, actually, for both of these guys.
Oh.
And the Banshee escaping. Could be worse for GanZI, though. He is still down to 2 Marines. Oh, the turret gets up for GanZI. That's huge.
That is actually really huge. And there is no engineering bay for MarineKing at all. He's not even building one. He's building a Raven
man.
right now.
Are we just going to see MarineKing die to Banshees?
Well, the Raven is about to pop out. And the Marines are getting
what
underneath.
What are those Marines doing? Like, I'm next to die. I'm next.
Yeah, this is really bad. He's building Marines out of his reactor, but there's the Raven. But that Banshee and GanZi's main still doing some damage.
Yep. Nice use of the auto turret there. Does manage to get one Banshee. Now MarineKing is 1 to 2 Banshees, but he does lose one there. So both players trading some pretty heavy blows. Both of them actually losing a good amount of Marines at the same time. MarineKing, though, is slightly ahead, 18 to 15 right now.
Wow. And yeah, so this Banshee's still going to do a little bit of damage over here. I don't think it's quite going to kill that Tech Lab. He's probably going to scan now that he has 2 Vikings.
Yeah.
And actually, is he going to let that Tech Lab go?
He actually is. Oh, is he going to save it? Nope.
Nope, he didn't
Tech
send an
Lab
SCV to
explode.
repair. A little bit sloppy there.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, both players killing almost identical amount of units to each other, actually.
Yeah.
So, pretty even situation aside from all that damage done by both Banshees. Oh, look at this. The Vikings were chasing it, waiting for the cloak energy to run out. Brilliant. And GanZi is going to snap that Banshee out of the sky.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
Snap. Dude. You know what?
Sweet.
This game's pretty even right now.
Dude, where's my Banshee? It certainly is.
cloaked, you can't
Vikings
see it.
running in here. This is a little bit of an interesting move by GanZi, going in prod with those Vikings.
Yeah, if he can snipe the Raven, that'll be pretty useful.
That would have been good.
It's going to be tough with one Raven there, or 1 Viking there as well. And so right now, MarineKing getting his expansion out, and I don't believe GanZi has a command center yet. No, he does not.
No. Well, let's see. Yeah, MarineKing. No, GanZi does not have an extra command center anywhere.
So GanZi is trying to basically just one base it for quite a while.
What it seems like, man.
It's kind of the opposite you would expect to see on something like that. It's kind of the. Let me start that sentence over. Wow, did that go bad? That is not what you'd expect to see on this map. Is what GanZi is hoping MarineKing is thinking.
Yeah, definitely, because I mean this is a macro map traditionally, and hold that thought though, because we do have. No, never mind. That's just 3 Vikings. I thought there was a Banshee there. He may be trying to do what you said and try and snipe the Raven or something like that.
I mean, he can maybe get it to use, point defense drone a little bit early too.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is MarineKing actually has an even number of Vikings, so it's not really going to help. Neither players decided to put a reactor on their starports just yet, so they're just producing single starport units at a time.
That makes sense. Push coming across the map for GanZi. MarineKing has actually more at-home defending already.
And MarineKing's siege mode just finished, so if an attack comes in here, it's going to get repelled pretty easily.
Yeah, I don't think GanZi's going to be able to do much damage.
There comes the Raven.
Does he get it?
PDD going down,
Yep.
saving the Raven. And really giving MarineKing some air dominance now, actually. Oh, unless those Marines get some Vikings. Nope, he's going to fall back.
He is going to siege up. No, he's not. He's actually, I thought he might be planning on sieging up at the top of the base, but decides to play it a little bit safe. GanZi's got to be really careful right now. I mean, he's in danger of having these units caught in the open ground. He's not going to be able to attack into MarineKing, really, because he doesn't have the air advantage.
And, oh no, he might lose his own Raven. Oh, again,
Whoa.
PDD barely, point defense drone, barely saving that Raven.
Yep.
And now he is going to siege up on the low ground, actually. Now that siege mode is complete, it wasn't before.
All right. So GanZi could be doing some damage now. He has to be careful about the Raven. Ravens, of course, can use that point defense drone to absorb the Viking shots. They can really turn an air battle in your favor. But if both people have Ravens, it's kind of like, why are you building Ravens? Oh, I'm building Ravens so I can use point defense drone to save my Ravens. It's kind of the situation we're in right now with both of those guys.
Well, with both players having gotten Banshees as well, it's smart to have a Raven around just in case. You don't want to get caught in one of those situations where one cloaked Banshee is killing off all your tanks. A nice snipe on that Banshee.
Yeah, that didn't last long.
Oh, but GanZi moving in a good position at the bottom of this cliff here.
Yeah, he does use the scan to pick off that tank that was firing at him. So GanZI is definitely a bit of a threat right now for MarineKing, but he just doesn't have the air advantage. I can't see this push really working in the long term unless MarineKing makes some big mistakes, you know?
Oh, and the point defense drone for GanZI is out of energy, so he loses his Raven, he loses all of his Vikings.
Yeah.
He now will have to scan it. Oh, scan. Voice randomly cracking there.
Mole trap, age 13.
Yeah. Sorry guys, I went through puberty, it's done now. He would have to scan in order to see the high ground there, so GanZI wisely falls back.
Yep, you know, but maybe not so wisely, deciding to still continue to keep the pressure on. This could work, but I feel like it's a kind of an unnecessary risk. Oh, but here's a drop coming into the main base of MarineKing. This is exactly what GanZI needs to do some damage with.
Good harassment there. He's being chased back in the middle of the map at the same time, though. Falling back to that C6, sees it up. Oh, if he gets one volley on those Marines, it can be huge. He does get a huge volley. He's forced to land his Vikings, though, to help. And MarineKing does polish off those tanks. I'm not sure why GanZI didn't engage.
Well, if anybody knows how many Marines you need to take out some tanks, it's definitely MarineKing.
That's true, man.
So, he did make a good prediction there. Came out significantly ahead in that.
GanZI doesn't have stim. That might have been why he decided not to engage that battle there.
I see.
I was wondering, guys, like, he has more Marines. Some of MarineKing's Marines are weak. Why didn't he battle? But was lacking on the firepower in that sense.
It's kind of funny. You got really quiet for a second. I turned and you got the microphone away from your face. I'm like, what? I can't hear it. Now I can hear you. No, you're good. Oh, mole trap. So 47 to 30 SCVs. Is it 30? Let's see. 38 SCVs. So.
Yeah, so pretty good advantage in the SCV count by GanZI, but another cloaked Banshee cloaking a little bit early, but coming in here on the side.
Well, better
to get some
cloaked
kills
than dead. But I think GanZI knows about it.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Now, GanZI did lose his Ravens, but he produced another one, and it's coming up there to protect that Banshee.
Well,
so he's going to be forced back.
Yep, MarineKing needs to be a little bit careful with this. Combat shield's getting pretty close to done for both of these guys.
I was about to say I'm surprised GanZI is not taking a third, but MarineKing actually is taking his third. It's a very smart move.
Well, MarineKing's always had pretty good macro. You know, when it comes to longer games like this, generally he's outproducing his opponent in a lot of cases. Banshee in space. At the edge of space. Space is flat.
Apparently.
Banshee's about to fly off the edge.
Little stars moving around in the background. MarineKing's actually moving out right here. And no, he's not. Wait, maybe he is. It's hard to tell. But he's just taking his third base, and so I wouldn't be surprised if he just tries to play a little bit defensively. Well, never mind, that's MarineKing. I remember now that it's MarineKing. MarineKing doesn't play defensively. He attacks all the time. Even if he's at a disadvantage, he'll still attack, and he makes it work somehow. But he might not make it work unless he gets sieged up very quickly.
Banshee was very close to death there, but he managed to get it away in time. So neither of these players really can push on each other too much. They're both at about the same supply right now. Stim actually going to be finishing about the same time for both players. The big difference is I believe that MarineKing does not have +1 and GanZI will have it significantly earlier.
Yeah.
Does MarineKing have +1 for his infantry attack right now? You've got the computer, you can tell me.
MarineKing, let's check. He does not have any upgrades at all.
No upgrades.
Just started +1 for his infantry. So, yeah, he's getting that third orbital. Oh, that Banshee decided to throw its life away.
It was a shame that it hadn't reached the rank of captain like that other Banshee.
That Banshee was playing like I used to play Counter-Strike, where I would just be like, you know what? If I just rush in there and spray them all, I'll die, but I might get a couple kills, and I just rush in and die, and I wouldn't get any kills. That's how I did when I first started playing Counter-Strike, at least.
I was the guy who would always like lurk in the vents and stuff, you know? I was like try to climb up on the roof and then go through the vents and surprise people. I was that guy.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun game.
I eventually transitioned over into the pro style of assault scouting. I would get the scout sniper rifle and I'd just run in with it and try and shoot people without the scope.
That's an interesting strategy.
I could do pretty well with it, actually.
We might have these armies clash here. And
MarineKing gets the first
up.
siege.
Yes, he does.
Oh.
Huge hits on the Marines of GanZI and MarineKing. Definitely winning that fight in a big way.
Wow.
I think MarineKing may have found something that he's better than GanZI at.
Marine tank for the win, man. He is pushing back GanZI very far. GanZI had to force to fall back, and he goes in while he's unsieged, but he targets the Marine down, doesn't get any tanks, and takes a bullet from those tanks on the way out.
MarineKing's about 30 supply ahead right now. GanZI is in a bit of trouble. He needs to be very, very careful about these next few moments. Really, both of these players do. The big story right now is the tank count, because right now we have MarineKing with 13 tanks and GanZI with only two.
Yeah, that's actually really, really bad.
There's one of them right there.
If MarineKing actually wanted to attack right now, he could just go in and crush him. So good positioning for GanZI is going to force MarineKing back slightly. Wow, this is so tense. MarineKing really needs to win this game. He's got to keep his hopes alive. He stims in. He's going to try and pick off those tanks with his Marines.
Bad idea for
Whoa, but then falls back again without actually committing to killing the tank.
Did manage to get a shot or two off on GanZi's, but now MarineKing just really doesn't have any Marines.
Yeah, he's actually down to about 30 Marines to the 50 of GanZI.
Yeah.
GanZI producing a Banshee as well, which could be very, very good against these tanks since there's not many Marines for MarineKing.
MarineKing's becoming Tank King here.
Oh, no!
Again, this doesn't seem like a good idea.
And MarineKing has 4 Marines left. When this Banshee comes in, it's going to be able to do huge damage. Kills off the tank, but more Marines coming in from the behind. More MarineKing stimming to get as close to the battle as possible.
Oh, man. And again, there's that Banshee tank combination. It just lets GanZI kill tanks. And yeah, MarineKing just needs to go home.
Again, with the perfect positioning. Using that Banshee as well. Very nicely done. GanZI pulling back within MarineKing range of supply. Nice. Kills another tank there. And a drop. And MarineKing's third at the same time. He's going to take out so many SCVs.
Oh,
All of MarineKing's forces are at the front.
He's not reacting either. Finally pulling away the SCVs, but he lost a good amount of them right there.
And he's just going to get out of town.
Only lost one.
Take his SCVs at his depot and go home.
I can't believe this. MarineKing was in such a good position. Wasted a lot of Marines there.
Sorry, I thought GanZI was going to charge his Marines into those tanks, but he does not.
He's got time.
Yes, true.
Oh, taking out 2 Vikings for GanZI. That's a nice little score from MarineKing there.
Now, here's the thing, GanZI, this is something we've seen him do in other matchups before, is he tends to stim his whole army for when it's not necessary. And he did, and he only has the 1 medevac. So most of his Marines are very badly injured. Actually, just got 2 more medevacs. He's going to be able to heal up that army, but again, he's got to be careful with that. A lot of his army is pretty low on health.
Yeah. Such a tense game right now. These guys still pretty even on supply. Very even on supply, in fact. This is one of those situations where the smallest little mistake can mean the game.
It is indeed. Both players about even here now. GanZI is going to have 2-1 in a minute, whereas MarineKing is not even going to have 1-1. He's actually 1-0 as far as upgrades go. So when the bio clash, GanZi's bio is going to be much, much better.
Absolutely.
And the faster you eat through the enemy bio, the faster you can get through and start killing their tanks.
Man, and MarineKing just does not have that air advantage. Nice snipe there.
Yeah, once again, MarineKing ceding control of the air, trying to count on his Marine Micro to keep his medevacs alive, but he hasn't really been doing that too well.
Now, MarineKing is also taking a 4th. In fact, he's already taken it. So that could help him pull ahead a little bit in supply.
True.
Oh, trying to mule bomb MarineKing's tanks there. And he can do some damage. Look at that, killing a tank. It does work. Oh, MarineKing trying to do it to GanZI, but with the Marines there, it really doesn't work.
And he forces him to unsiege. Ooh. Nice idea by MarineKing.
Meanwhile, a drop at the 3rd base, killing a lot more SCVs. Wow, Slayer's GanZI might actually pull this one off. It's still pretty close, but he's playing so well.
He might indeed. He's behind in economy, but he's ahead in well, actually, no, he's not behind in economy because he has a lot more SCVs right now.
Some heavy hits being created here. And here comes GanZI spinning in. I don't know if this is going to work? It looks like it does. The upgrade's making a huge difference. And look at that. Slayer's GanZI just annihilating the army of MarineKing Prime.
Nicely done. MarineKing also had a medevac loaded up with units that weren't able to participate in the fight.
Yep.
So GanZI just had a little bit more. He stimmed through there, and now GanZI pushing MarineKing back. Now they are technically about even in supply, so MarineKing still even if he meets up with his army. Tank sieging up in the background. Is he going to get there and start killing tanks? The final MarineKing coming from both sides. Kills off 3 or 4 tanks. MarineKing might push through here. He has taken out every single tank of GanZI now. And MarineKing, with the reinforcements, kills off GanZI's counterattack and is able to push back to GanZI's front door. MarineKing with 4 bases. GanZI stuck on 3 and cannot move out to get a 4th.
I can't believe what a fast back and forth game this has been, Moletrap. This is really exciting. And here comes some more Marines for GanZI trying to take out some of the tanks. And he does manage to get a good amount, actually.
Vikings landing to kill the tanks, though. Fuel's dropping down. MarineKing says, get out. I have defeated you. GanZI GG's. MarineKing has come from behind to bring this to a Game 7. We are going to have an epic ace match to this series to see who gets the Codet spot.
I knew these guys wouldn't disappoint me, man. The Code A finals are always awesome. I have casted more Code A finals than anybody, and they're always awesome. And this one's going to be awesome, too. We are going to Game 7. GanZI can't be pleased with himself. MarineKing is probably freaking out. I'm freaking out, Moletrap.
Wow. Wow. After those first 2 games, I was like, oh my God, GanZI's going to slaughter MarineKing. This isn't even going to be a series. And it has been a series, man.
First 2 games, I was a little bit worried. I was feeling the same way. I was like, oh, is he going to actually 4-0 him? That would be, that'd be good for him, but it'd be kind of a bummer to watch, you know? But we've gotten instead a very exciting game since then.
Exactly. Not nearly as exciting as the games we've seen. Now, the last map is going to be Metalopolis.
Oh, that's perfect, man. That is
Metalopolis.
That's a perfect map to end this on.
Old school map for the old school king of second place, facing the new challenger in Slayer's GanZI, the new school Terran. And very interesting that we saw Marine Tank in that last game.
Yeah, going back to we've seen like
it wasn't full bio like MarineKing was doing. It wasn't Tank Hellion like you would have expected GanZI to do. Both players going for the Marine Tank. Yeah, very old school style.
Well, this not only that, but this series has been just such a great showcase of every TVT style we've seen in the history of StarCraft 2. Yeah. The only thing we haven't seen yet is just Tank Viking. I hope we're not going to be seeing that. I don't think we are. That's just bad. But other than Tank Viking, we're kind of like it's kind of like watching a history of TVT and StarCraft 2. These guys are both so good. I mean, they can play all these styles so well.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to win. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break so you guys can cool down. I need to cool down. We're going to come back with Game 7. Don't go anywhere. This is the Code A Finals.